welcome.
Okay. All right. Give me a second. Let me just send out some text messages here too. Let everyone know. You guys still have time to do the same. We're gonna have a really good solar training today with um, someone you guys heard from before, and he's gonna drop some good nuggets here.
Jackie Meadows, Denver, Colorado.
Welcome, Jackie.
Gabby Tobe, Orlando, Florida.
Thank you.
Welcome, Gabby.
Jonathan Franco, Northern California.
Welcome, Jonathan.
Keith Williams,
right.
New York City.
Welcome, Keith. All right, cool.
David Small, North Carolina.
Welcome, David. We should have some music playing from David right now.
Alejandro, amigo from Puerto Rico.
Bienvenido, Alejandro.
Gracias, Juan.
Hello, this is Chris from Long Beach, California. Good morning.
Hey, Chris. Good morning. Welcome.
This is Roberto from Rancho Cucamonga.
Roberto, welcome.
Hey, Juan. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Keith Cancel from Boston.
Good morning, Keith. Okay, I think we have enough people here to get started. I am going to introduce this gentleman. You guys heard from him before, Mr. Urjan Dixity. He has a tremendous experience in the solar industry. He knows the ins and outs on how to work and generate leads. So he's going to be giving us some great information today on the solar training. Mr. Urjan, are you available, sir?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes, sir. Let me get this
Awesome.
meeting also recorded. Give me a second. But yes, take it away, sir.
Recording in progress.
Awesome, guys. Well, I am grateful to be here and able to speak to all of you today on really what is the path for 2025 and how do you start from where you're at to what's going to happen toward the end of this year. All right. So before we get into it, I do want to just pray us into 2025 and pray for this meeting. So just, Lord, King of the universe, I pray that you just give us the ears to hear, eyes to see what you're trying to tell us for this year. Thank you for this year. And I thank everybody that's on this call. I pray my personal prayer is everybody on this call just gets to know you just so much more this year. Amen. Guys, before I get into the training, there's also a little bit more, a couple things I want to personally thank is JC and Wences for trusting me to be on this platform. And guys, at the end of the day, I've been multiple other companies in solar, and I am grateful to be here. The grass is not greener on the other side. If you can't make money here, don't bother going anywhere else to try to make some money. What Wences and JC are putting together, I'm grateful for that. So first off, thank you. I'm not sure if they're on the call, but I can't give enough thanks and gratitude. I'm so grateful that I had a friend that told me about Ed Ayala, that told me about JC and Wences, right? How crazy is that? And the other guy that told me about Ed's not even here. Isn't that crazy? I am so grateful. So if you know somebody that's looking for an amazing opportunity, you never know. You may not be around, but they may be around. You just bless them with an amazing company. Couple other people I do want to thank. I don't think I give them enough thanks. Is Jessica, Amelia, and Juan. Guys, thank you for putting up with all my crap. So you guys are amazing. And all of you guys check this out. You get to just go sell. They are serving all of us. So we have a better opportunity, so it's easier. Quick story. I was within a company selling solar. I won't go into all that details. I started my own solar dealer. Nearly spent $20,000 within about 2 weeks to getting everything started and everything. And then I meet JC and Winston. I'm like, well, this is great. Like, I walked away from that to be here. Why? Here, look, 70% commission. I'm okay with forfeiting 30% of it because I don't have to hire a full-time Juan, Amelia, Jessica. I couldn't afford them. That is just that opportunity alone, guys. I hope you do not take them for granted. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And that is also another amazing sign of just JC and Winston's leadership on the people that they're attracting to be on the back end so we have a better opportunity. That's incredible in my book. I have not seen that. So, guys, I'm so grateful to be here on that. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to cover on getting leads. Pretty simple topic, right? We're going to talk about attention. Because at the end of the day, if we want to close deals, we need attention. If we don't have that attention, who are we going to get in front of to close? So I'm going to be talking about that. That's the primary topic today. The last thing we're going to talk about, and I want to say the best for last because I want you all to stay on the call completely. I want you to stay to then because I'm going to show you how to make $1 million a year. And I can't see everybody's cameras on, so I don't want to be talking to blank screens. So if you are able to, turn your cameras on. That would be amazing.
Welcome.
So, sorry. I don't know what I did there. All right. Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. Again, if you could turn on your cameras, that would be awesome. I want to see your beautiful faces. I don't want to be staring at some just names. Again, if you're in the car driving, don't worry about it. But if you're able to, turn those cameras on. All right, guys. By show of hands, light up the chat. Who wants to learn how to make $1 million a year? Cool. Awesome. Love it. Who believes they can make $1 million a year? Hey, everybody raise your hands. You're going to do it if you want to, right? Now, the cool thing is I want to show an exact process. I want to dissect it for even the person that doesn't truly believe. Guess what? By the end of this call, I'm going to put a very simple process together and you're going to go, wow, it's actually a lot easier than I thought. I encourage you, if you have a goal that is just $100,000 a year, you need to turn that to $1 million a year. Anybody on this call that's made 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, I think they can all attest that that was the hardest thing they did. After that, 200,000, 300,000, after that, it was a piece of cake. So I encourage you, if you're making those goals, set it high. All right. So, all right, guys, we're going to get into it on the appointment setting. So, or not setting appointments, but I'm going to talk about attention. At the end of the day, the more deals you close is going to be all about the attention you attract. The more faces you check this out. Isn't this crazy? The more people you sit down with, the more people you close. Do you all agree with that? So here's the thing, what I've always thought in the other situation, I just wanted to know, well, I get that. I know I just need to talk to more people. I know I need to get in front of more people. But what does that look like? There's a couple different ways to do this. This is not new. There is, you could buy leads. You could do your own marketing. You could do door knocking. You could do cold calling. Those are all viable options. I'm going to explain each and single one of them. So let me see do you guys have something to take notes on? If you guys have it, let me see it. Put it up on the camera. Awesome. Not every one of these, I'm going to tell you what I do, but not all of these are going to be good for you. You guys are smart enough to understand, hey, look, I like that. I'm going to run with that. So I'm going to give you all the options and let you know why each options are good options and exactly what it takes for those options, all right? So there's three main things. First on the list is attention. All right, I want you to put that. How do I get more attention for people? That's the first thing you need to put down. This is how you do it. Realistically, that will solve most of your problems. How do I cause more attention so I can get in front of more people so I can close more deals, right? So the three building blocks of that is one, door knocking. Show of hands, who likes door knocking? Anybody else? I saw like one hand go up. That's awesome. Guys, my hand didn't go up either. That's not bad. I've done door knocking, and that right now I'm going to talk about door knocking first, okay? The other two topics are going to be calling and then buying leads. So for your notes, those are the three things that we're going to go over. So door knocking, what does this skill set require? Or what does that require? Okay. One, it takes the most amount of skill. So if you guys are wanting to door knock, man, this is that you got, that's a different breed. I've met some incredible people that go door knocking. They are really good at talking, very fast, very witty. Like they just know what to say. They are trained assassins out there in closing deals. Like they are good. But it also takes the most amount of skill. And if somebody doesn't have that skill to learn that skill, it can be very discouraging because it takes a lot of self-confidence, a lot of self-discipline, and a lot of training. Now, do you guys have what it takes for that? Absolutely. Because if you're in a situation where you have no money, everybody say that, no money. If you have no money and you're like, I want to build a business, well, what do you got to do? That's your solution. Learn the skills that are necessary to go out there and have those conversations. So now I'm not going to talk about that skill set. Okay. I'm going to talk about the numbers it takes to close the amount of deals you need to take to survive in this thing. Okay. If you are door knocking, now any person door knocking out there that's been done this professionally knows the numbers too. And it's going to be off a little bit more or less, but you have to be consistent at these numbers. If you are door knocking, you are going to need to, one, yes, develop the skill because it takes the least amount of money, but it takes the most amount of effort, okay? You're going to need to knock 100 doors a day. Now, anybody that's experienced door knocking, they're probably shaking their head like, yeah, that's right. Now, maybe they go do 200 doors, 300 doors. My goal, when I did it, I was like, I'm going to knock. I never had a door number. But I said, I'm going to knock doors until I actually have 3 conversations about solar, 3 conversations about home improvement, 3 conversations about home remodeling. That's when I started doing that. 3 conversations. That's all I cared about. And what I found was as I was going through that, on average, sometimes I got 3 conversations on 10 doors. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like this is easy, right? And then the next day I go on 200 doors and nobody wants to talk to me. So it's all in the averages. 100 doors a day on average, I was able to talk to 2 to 3 people. Now with those 2 to 3 people on average, I'm going to be closing one of those. All right. Those are the numbers. So again, if you're saying, I want to do this full-time professionally, one, I'm not your guy to teach door knocking. I'm going to be the first to say it. I wanted to take the path of least resistance. I got tired. I got burnt out. I've knocked on thousands of doors and made hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it, but I wanted a little bit more time. Okay. So again, if you're in a situation where you have no money, but you have the time, you need to learn those skills necessary to learn door knocking. Okay. The second skill set is cold calling. Now, there's 2 different ways to do this. There is completely cold calling and all that. Now, I'm not going to do too much teaching into the cold calling part because there are new SEC guidelines and all that stuff. So I'm not going to get it too much on that. But I'm going to be talking about the calling where you're calling aged leads, not cold leads. Okay, I'm talking about aged leads. What is an aged lead? Somebody that was going to go solar at some point. They filled out some information about going solar. And they didn't go, or they did go solar. It's just an aged lead. 30 days old, 60 days old, a year old. They filled out a form at some point and you bought it through a company and they're just recycling essentially. They're the lowest cost form of leads, but it takes a little bit more work. It's not like a live lead that comes in and they're just, yeah, we want information right now. It's more of, hey, you filled out some information about 6 months ago. Did you get taken care of? Again, I'm not going to go through that conversation right now. I'm not going to go into how-tos. I'm not going into the specifics. I'm only going on the how-tos on the process. It looks to start from where you're at and start making money as fast as possible. 300 calls a day is what I found works for me. And I'm just telling you what I did. There's times I called 600 people in a day. There's times I only called 50. Okay. But when you're doing it, you need to call 300 to 400 calls a day consistently. So now you're thinking, well, shoot, I'll just go knock 100 doors because that's less. Well, guess what? You're at your house. You can make calls. This is going to require you a little bit more money, but a little bit less skill. Why does it require less skill? You're not in front of the first person face to face. You don't have to be as fast. You're not turning a customer that's like, heck no, don't talk to me about solar. You're talking to people that still somewhat filled out a form a few months ago, right? So it's going to take less skill. So write that down for the section 2. The second portion is calling aged leads, calling 400 calls a day. Less skill than door knocking, but you need a little bit more money. You could probably find, I would say there's some aged leads that are 5 cents a piece, 10 cents a piece, or you can get premium ones that are like $1 a piece. That's going to vary. So that means 1,000 leads for $1,000. So again, or whatever your budget is, how are you going to work that? Now, in my experience, if I buy $1,000 worth of aged data, I'm usually closing 1 or 2, sometimes 3 of those deals. I have to sift through that. I have to see who maybe didn't get qualified in the past in another company, and maybe I can get them qualified here. I'm sifting through that data, but you have to be on it. You have to be calling these people all the time to make sure you get the results. And that's staying disciplined in your work habit. It's not just, oh, I'm just going to make some calls. No, it's very disciplined. From this time to this time, you are making 400 calls in a day to have, again, 3 conversations, hopefully 3 to 5 conversations. Because a lot of those calls are call, no answer, leave a voicemail, text, next. Call, leave a voicemail, leave a text message, next. You have to go through the numbers, okay? The last thing is going to be, now this is what I chose to do because I did those other 2. I developed my skill. If you guys want to become lethal in this business, who wants to become lethal? Raise your hand. If you want to become lethal, even though you might like this last one the best, I encourage you to still practice doing the other ones. And I'll show you a creative way. For example, now do I go door knocking? No, I don't. I haven't been door knocking in a while. I don't want to do it. Why? Because I figured out a better path. I already became lethal. Now, though, how do I do it? Well, if I have a job that's getting installed, I'll go to their house. I'll have that customer, hey, take me to your neighbors, introduce me. That's how I do door knocking now. But that's another skill set we'll talk about later. Okay. But I'll encourage you, if you want to become lethal, first you got to read some sales books. Just study. Doctors, lawyers, put in the chat, how many years does it take for a doctor to become a doctor? Like let's say a brain surgeon. How many years does it take for them to study to get that doctorate? 12 to 15 years, 8 to 10 years, 8 to 10 years, 10 years plus, 12. Wow. Now, how much money does an average brain surgeon make? Somebody said no idea. Between $600K and $1 million. Okay. A lot. Yeah. I like that answer a lot, Michael. That's awesome. So 500K. Yep, that's right. So 500K plus $1 million. It took them, let's just say 10 years. Even if it was 8 years, guys. Sorry. Yes, sweetheart. I'm in a meeting right now, okay? Yeah. I'm in a meeting right now, okay? That is the blessing of working from home, guys. Anyways, okay. To $1 million a year, 500K a year. There's a range for it, right? It took, let's just say, let's go on the low end. Let's say it didn't take 12 years. They were just sharp, and it took them 8 years. Now, by the way, if somebody's doing brain surgery on me, I want the person that knows how to do it better. But let's just say 8 years, okay? 8 years spending. Now, let's dissect this even more. 8 years, they're making $1 million a year. Let's do it on the high end. And how much did it cost them for schooling? $300,000 to $500,000, $200K. Yeah, that's a lot, guys. So on the beginning of this call, I said, who wants to make $1 million in a year? Everybody raises their hand. Most of you guys believe you can do it. And I know you guys can do it. Why? Let me ask you this. Why, when you say, I want to make $1 million here, you're not willing to put $1 million work habit and you're trying to get it that, I mean, we're already shortcutting the process. But reading a book, how long does it take you to read a book? Read a book, pick something up, learn something, call your mentor, get yourself educated, learn the skill set necessary. If you have that potential to make something, how long does it take a professional in our industry to be a professional? For me, it took me, I would say, about 10 years. Because 7 of those years, I didn't treat it like a profession. I didn't take it seriously. That's why I only made $60,000, $40,000. I was struggling. And finally I was like, you know, I could actually do this the right way. And then guess what? After that, I tripled my income the next year, and I made over 7 figures in the industry within a 3-year period of time. Actually, probably 2-year period of time. And then the rest is history after that. So if I'm telling you right now, if you have that same work habit for somebody going to college to be a neurosurgeon, and you could be able to replace that income within a year, or even if it took you 5 years, you didn't have to spend, let's just go on the low end, you didn't have to spend $100,000, which we all know it's way more than that. $200,000, $300,000 plus not have, I mean, did they work while they were going to school, or did they have to do that too as well? So they still also had living expenses too, right? We are able to be able to do that and shortcut this whole process. So when you guys are listening to any person that's up here about how to make this happen, guys, take it serious. This is your schooling. All for a BYLD membership of what, $199? Are you kidding me? People pay for that just for discount rewards. My insurance for my other solar dealer that I had was way more than that. And you guys are able to get all this for that price, guys. It's incredible. So don't take that lightly. All right, so I'm going to stay on track here. Cold calling. A little bit less skill, but a little bit more money. How many of you guys want to know how to do this with the passive least resistance? Yeah, all the hands went up. Me too. Me too. There's 2 ways to do this, all right? I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to keep it simple, but for all the mentors out there, I want to show you even one advanced step further after that, and you're going to love this, okay? So just buy them. Just buy a lead. I'm not talking about marketing to get your leads. I'm talking about just buying a lead. Let's just say it's $50, okay? $50 a lead. So it could be $20, it could be $30, it could be $50. Heck, there's leads I purchased that were like $200, okay? Now, this is why this is very important, because I'm saying this as this is a path. This doesn't mean it's for you. And if you don't have the budget for this, don't do it. Learn the other skills. Just cold call or call age leads or door knock. If that's, I want to make sure you guys understand. I'm going to repeat that again. If you do not have the finances, do not spend the money, because here's the thing. Even though it's a path of least resistance and it takes the least amount of skill. Why? They filled out a form. The conversation goes like this. Hey, this is Airjohn. You filled out some information about going solar. How can I help you out? Oh my gosh. Ask that to any door knocker on, could you just knock on a door and say, hey, you're interested about going solar? I'm here to answer any questions for you. Not going to happen. You have to be very tactful doing that. So, but even though it's a path of least resistance, you could still mess it up. And even though it may be the easiest way of getting appointments, you could also blow your budget very quickly if you don't do it the right way. That's why we all have mentors here. That's why if you're here learning to sell solar, this is good information for you too, because this is exactly what it takes. Or if you're already closing solar, this is going to be good if you're booking your own appointments. If you spend $1,000 and you don't have the necessary skill set, and you blow $1,000 and no appointments booked, you get really discouraged. Oh, that thing didn't work. No. You just didn't have the necessary skill set. So would you rather fail with no money, fail with some money, or fail with a lot of money? So if you're going this direction, the path of least resistance, I teach my team, have a budget, minimum budget of $250 a week. If you can do that, that's going to turn something amazing. Why? Because one, every time you get a call, you're learning, and all you're doing is booking an appointment. That's the hardest thing about this, by the way. Once you learn how to book an appointment, you're going to, that's the skill set you need in order to win at this business. Okay. As you start to progress and getting better appointments now, you could reinvest. You close a couple deals, you get your M1 bonuses from Freedom. Let's say it's $300, $400. That covers the cost of the leads, even and then some. When I first started with Freedom, in 6 weeks, I made $14,000 in M1 bonuses alone. Now I spent $3,000 on leads, closed like a madman. I closed 18 deals that month. And then I was able to reinvest that, and that's what took care of my business from there on out. Okay? Not saying to do that, that's what I did. But if you're new and you're like, hey, I want to buy leads, well, you need to start with a lower budget because you don't have that skill set yet. And then you're going to learn on a small basis. Okay? Now, this is more geared to the people that are already closing their own solar deals. If you already know how to have that conversation, if you already know how to book an appointment, then have your budget that you're already comfortable with, that you already know you can do. And that's a path of least resistance. Call or answer, book the appointment. And the more faces you get in front of, the more you're going to close. I'm not going to talk about that. JC has amazing teaching about closing deals. There's so much more teaching out there too on our platform. Dive into that. I'm not going to go in that details today, but if you want, if you're trying to figure out how to get in front of more faces, that's how you do it. All right. So if you guys are getting something out of this, put your thumbs up. I just want to see if you guys are getting some value out of this today. Awesome. Love it. All right. So I'm just looking at my notes here. If you guys see me looking down or this side, I got 3 screens up. Okay. I got the screen where I see myself, you guys, and the notes. Okay. So promise I'm paying attention to you guys. Let's see. All right, so I didn't have this in the notes, but I want to go over one extra thing, okay? Now, this is for, how many mentors are on the call? Let me see your hands. Y'all, we got to get more mentors. I only saw like 5 people raise their hands. Okay, let me ask another question. Who's excited to be a mentor? You want to know why? That means you're closing deals and you're able to lead others, okay? You want to become a mentor, be the best mentee. And here's another, and this is going a little bit off topic. But if you want to be the best mentee, don't mentor hop. Focus on the person you want to learn from and learn from them. Okay? Here at BYLD, we got an amazing platform. We are not going to allow you to fail. Choose somebody. If that's not a good fit, well, just choose somebody. There's so many people to choose from. And focus on that person and have a mindset as I will until I figure this out. If you have that mindset, you will win. Okay? All right. So this is for you mentors out there. Do you guys want to know how to get free leads? Raise your hands if you want free leads. Even if you're not a mentor, raise your hand if you want free leads. Cool. Now, if you want free leads, you got to have the trust that you're going to close somebody else's lead. Us mentors have a very big obligation and a very big responsibility. Somebody gives us a lead that was free to us. Now, yes, it's half our commission. Guys, I'll be honest. I'd rather close my own deal, make 100% versus close y'all's. I make more money for the same amount of time. That's the truth. However, there's a positive. I don't have to spend that money to get that lead, right? But my skill set, I know I can get 3-4 leads a day and close one of those a day. Here's the thing. If you're building a team and you're focusing on building a team, you kind of have to pick one. Do I selfishly get my own leads? Or do I tell my team I'm 100% dedicated to them? I want to show them how to get leads, and I'm going to show them the process of closing deals. That takes a lot more time for all you mentors on the call. So choose your path wisely. If you just want to close deals, focus on the closing deals, okay? If you want to build a team, 100% build a team and just be dedicated to those people that you're actually getting the leads from. So that's the way to get free leads, guys. Build a team, and your team's going to provide you leads, which is a great source, but also takes a little bit more time because you got to train them, all right? So do you guys find that valuable? Perfect. All right, guys. So the last part of that process of getting leads, how many leads does it take? How many leads do you need in it? So I did tell you about a budget. That's just depending on where you're at. You guys know your budget more than anybody else. Matter of fact, I have some people on my team that are working a full-time job to be able to fund their business here so they can get rid of their full-time job, and I'm showing them how to do it within a couple months. So you could also have that mindset too and do that. All right, you're going to need at least 3 to 5 leads if you're doing this full-time. 3 to 5 leads a day. These are people that are qualified. They filled out a form, they're interested in sold. There's many ways. You can do your own marketing that way. You can have a lead service do it. There's many different options, okay? These are people that already filled out a form. Some of them aren't going to answer. Some of them are just going to say, well, I saw this little picture of this tiny solar panel this big, and I want to know if that's going to power my whole house. Guys, that's the truth. I've actually had a customer say that. You hear some wonky stuff out there, okay? So 3 to 5 leads. Okay, now if they're all about $30 average, sometimes it's maybe more depending on the season, you can do the math there, okay? So now you have to ask yourself, that takes the least amount of skill, but more investment. I want you guys to circle which one, you're going to do 2 different circles. Which one do you want to do? And which one can you do? That's your second circle. And maybe you could also put in there how, and then change the question on how can you go to the I want to versus I only can do this one. Okay. That's going to take a little self-reflecting on which is the best path for you. All right, guys. Last thing I want to be talking about. And one, how are we doing on time?
You're good, Erjon. You're doing
Awesome,
great, man.
awesome.
Fantastic.
Perfect. All right, so a couple things before I move into the last topic on making $1 million a year is a little bit about the mindset behind it. First off, when we're talking about $1 million, we're talking about like it's nothing. You know, I would say there's one thing I kind of want to share with you guys. And one, is prosperity is not for you personally. I'm going to repeat that. Prosperity is not for you. I want you to understand what I'm meaning by that. Your prosperity is not for you personally, it's for everybody around you. Get yourself out of the equation. The reason why you're going to be prosperous is not because of your own selfish agenda. Now, I wish I could say that was me. Like, oh, that's why I didn't know. It was all very material. Like, oh, I want to buy this. Guys, let me tell you a story. I look at how many cars I've owned, and then I added up how much value that is. It's over a couple $1 million worth of cars. Now, by the way, I wish I could say it was like a Lamborghini or all these other fancy cars. No, it's what we call is a lot of stupid decisions. When you make a lot of decisions, you make money and then you make a lot of stupid decisions, you start to realizing that does not give you any happiness at all. So I'm telling you that as in being a hypocrite, because that's what I did. I was being prosperous. I'm like, man, things are great. But then I'm like, wait, why is my wife stressed out a little bit? Like, does my daughter know who I am? Actually know who I am? Do my friends, what do they see me as? So your prosperity is meant for others. Okay? That's my opinion. That's just a little bit about my belief on that to share with you guys. So if that impacts you, awesome. If you disagree, hey, no problem. Have a purpose for your prosperity. Simple. This is much greater than us. We're talking about $1 million a year, which is fine. But really think about it. What does $1 million do for you? I realized it. I realized this last year in December. For me, my belief, I was spending some long time with God, and I'm just thinking, and He pretty much told us like, hey, look, you need, like, there's no material possession that's going to make you happy. And I started looking at it. I'm like, I could be happy with nothing now, because I know my true root of happiness, where that lies. And it takes so much less for us to actually live and get what we want than we think. Most of you, all your dreams, I'm going to say this in a bad way, but it's in love. Remember, love doesn't mean it has to be conforming. It's not. I love you guys, and that's why I'm saying it. Some of you guys, your dreams are too small. That's why all your dreams could be accomplished with $50,000 a year. So if you have a $50,000 dream, then why do you need to make $1 million? That's why your purpose needs to be much beyond yourself, and you have to have a cause for that. You have to have a reason for it. That I cannot tell you. I would say if you don't have that figured out, figure that out. That has to be the fire that drives you, okay? The last thing before I get into making $1 million a year. Do it now. Write that down. And I want you to repeat this every time you feel lazy about doing something, making your calls, door knocking. Just say, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. That's what it's going to take. Do it now. All the stuff I told you about. If you do it now, not next week, not the following week, do it now. Action. Action cures fear. If you don't have action, you're what we call it you become a coffee house philosopher. How many of those have we run into? And I like to eavesdrop when I'm walking in a store. I see all these people saying all these great ideas, but I'm like, dude, stop talking about it. Just do it. Do it now. All right. Ooh, I like that one. I have 500 families looking for me to share the path to financial freedom. Amazing. I love that. By the way, when you give a lot to people, you deserve a lot. Heck, even if you become, some of us mentors know that actually being a mentor and building a team, you actually make less money than just being a closer. and just focusing on that one thing. So you got to see exactly why you're wanting to do what you do. All right. Are you guys ready? Let me know if you're ready for me to dissect on how to make $1 million a year. Who's ready? Now, I only there was like 5 people that are ready. Who's ready? All right, there we go. All right. I don't know. Maybe, hey, Juan, can we just kick off everybody that's not wanting to know the secret to make $1 million? Can we just do that?
We can start doing that.
All right, I'm closing out the meeting for you guys, right? Just kidding. All right, guys. I was going over this with one of my guys on the team, and it even put it in more simple perspective to me, because what we were talking about is, what is your goal? Let me ask you guys this before I get into this. What is your income goal for this year? What's your income goal? Write it down. Put it in the chat. I'm about to throw a curveball at you guys. Didn't we just talk about $1 million? I'm seeing a whole bunch of 200, 300, 700. Well, that's getting there. There we go, $1 million. Everybody needs to put $1 million in the chat right now. Come on. Because here's what I want to say. The people that said 200 or 300,000 a year, have you even made that money yet? Then what is the reason why you made that goal? So if you haven't done it yet, it was just so I could kind of see it. Why don't you put $1 million? Heck, you could put 10 million. Because you didn't do either one of them, so it's the same thing. But if I show you how to make $1 million and your goal is to make $1 million and you don't do it, but you only do half of it, you just made $500,000. But if you do half of 200, you just made a 200 or 100 or 50, whatever. Can't even do math. So everybody needs to have $1 million goal. Because I'm about to share with you on how easy. Now, it's not just because it's easy. That's difficult. It takes work, it takes discipline. It's because the opportunity we have. Because $1 million income that you guys can earn is somebody else making $200,000 at another sales company. But you can make $1 million here with that same type. For example, previous company, SunPower, 5-10% commission. It's 5%, but then you got some bonus. I'll just say 5-10%, right? I made $250,000, one of their top closers. Okay, or the highest paid. The reason why I switched to Freedom coming over here, an opportunity like this, I did the math, I did the numbers, the same amount of jobs that I closed over there making $250,000 a year thinking I was great, I would have made $1.2 million on the same amount of projects with this opportunity here. By the way, with being less expensive on top of that. I made more, the customer saved more, and I had more freedom. I just had to man up, get out of my own way, and figure out how to get my own leads. I figured it out quick when I saw that number. So the opportunity we have, 70% commission. Nobody's doing that, guys. That's why we can do it. The opportunity, the level. What is the average commission? Well, we're going to start here. What is the average commission on a deal? 7K. So I'm going to do this based on 5K. Is that all right if I do that? If I base these numbers on 5K, not 7K, can I do that? Because could we also agree that you can get paid $17,000 on a deal? You could also get paid $2,000 on a deal, depending on the size of it and what you sold it at. So you'll probably make more than this. But all right. So somebody that's good at math, how many deals does it take at $5,000? How many deals does it take in a year to make $1 million? 200. Now, I think if JC were to interject here, he's probably going to say it's not going to take 200 deals to make $1 million. But Again, we're being safe, okay? I'm just showing you how to make $1 million. I know, by the way, I know people that close over $300, or sorry, 300 deals in a year. I'm like, I'm not that good. I've never closed 200 deals in a year. Okay, so I'm telling you, this is more than possible. I'm giving extreme numbers, just like I was talking about door knocking, just like I was talking about calling, I was talking about the leads. Okay, so yes, Neo, that I love it. That's 16 deals a month. Got it. Perfect. Here's the thing. I'm not saying 16 deals a month. I'm going to tell you 20 deals a month. Because 200 sounds like crazy. Let's do 20 deals. What's 20 times 12? What's that? What's that number? 240. Cool. So we're going to talk about 240 deals. Okay. When we dissect that, when we see that number, we're like, man, that's so big. How can we do that? How is that possible? Remember, we have a whole year to do that. We have people here that's closed over 35 deals in 1 month. I have not done that. I've done 33. That was my greatest month, by the way. My average per month when I was closing personally was 18 to 20 deals a month average. That's what I was closing at. Some month it would be 8 deals. Next month it was 26 deals, right? So it's just an average. So we're going to talk about 20 deals a month. Who thinks they can close 20 deals a month? Jonathan, you're going to be closed more than that. Right when I said that, there was no hesitation. It's like 100% I'm doing that. Now you know the process on that. So now look at 20 deals. Okay? Dissect it now. How many, now again, you remember your options on creating attention. How are you going to create attention? Are you going to buy leads? Are you going to door knock? Or are you going to cold call? How many appointments do you have to book to close one deal? How many leads how many calls do you need to make to book X amount of appointments? If you needed to book 10 appointments to close 2 deals, how many appointments do you need to book to close 20 deals a month? That's, by the way, let's dissect that. That's 5 appointments a day. 5 deals a week. We have people probably on this call. Matter of fact, I want to know if there's anybody on this call that has closed 5 deals in 1 day before. Let's go. Put it in the chat. Say I did in the chat. This is time for you guys to brag about yourself. Don't be shy. I saw somebody raise their hand. 5 deals in 1 day. Who's closed 5? There we go. Perfect. Hey, I think that's pretty awesome. That shows it could be done. I was close. Oh, Jonathan, you were close, man. You dropped the ball. You only closed 4 deals in 1 day. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, you suck, bro. You got to get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Most 3 in 1 day. Ooh, nice. My last company. That means you can do it here too. Guys, all we're doing is showing it's possible. Because we're talking about 5 deals in a week. So what took you? Here's the problem with it. We get all this momentum. We get all excited. We close in 1 day and then we go, man, I just made 30 grand in 1 day. I don't want to wake up early in the next morning. So it's not, even if like that million, I'm showing you how to make $1 million. It doesn't mean you have to do it. Hey, make 700,000. By the way, most of you probably won't make $1 million because of this one thing. You want some more, you have 700,000 in the bank. You're like, November, December, January, I'll just stop working. I'll work back up in February. I actually had a guy say that to me. He goes, Arjun, you're not going to make $1 million a year because you're going to take some time off. Last year, I took 4 months off. He's right. I'm dead serious, guys. Like, I'm like, okay, he was right. The previous year, my it was 1099 that I had. It was just shy of it. It was 940,000. That is an ego kicker. I'm like, I could have just spent one more week closing deals and made that gap. All right. So this is the process on how to do it. So now you dissect it. 5 deals a week. Who's going to commit to average 5 deals a week? Now, don't do this commitment if you are not serious about it. Don't put it up in the chat, because I don't want to embarrass you guys on the next call. Write it down. What are you going to commit to? This is what it takes. Now, here's the cool thing about solar. Where's the busiest time? Right now? And then, it's going to slowly build momentum. I've seen people close 60 deals in the month of June, July, and August. Each month. Because guess what? That's when people's bills are the highest. So you could take this time and prep and train and focus on at least just getting 1 deal a week, then 2 deals a week, then 3 deals a week, then 4 deals a week, then 5 deals a week. And then by the time June, July, and August come by, then you're closing 2, 3 a day. It can happen. But then you've already built the necessary skill set to make it happen. Okay? So, guys, that is pretty much all I have for you today. Do you guys find some value in that? Give me a thumbs up if you found some value in that. Awesome. So if we have about a couple minutes left. If you guys have any questions regarding what we talked about, I'm happy to open up for Q&A. I'm sure we can get a couple questions if you guys have those. So. Where do I buy leads? Good question. Message me on. I would say this because there's multiple different lead sources, right? There is, because I gave, I think David Leggett, I believe I gave him the lead source too. I have multiple different options. They all work. There's like 10 different ones that I've used in the past. It depends on how you want your leads to be. There's some lead sources that will automatically book the appointment for you. So message me on WhatsApp and let me know what you're trying to do. Are you trying to just do you want them set for you? Or are you a mentee or a mentor? That way it will give me a little bit more direction on what's going to be the best for you in that situation. Because in my opinion, the best way to get leads is through our whole network. But then again, like I told you about our topics, I want you guys to have past least resistance where if you were like, hey, I just want to sell solar, I want to show you how to do that. Yeah, guys, a lot of the lead stuff, for example, that's why I don't want to talk about door knocking specifically on the skill set, all that stuff, or cold calling, because a lot of this stuff is going to be specific to each person. So all the stuff I went over to the call today, everybody can do that, and that's the blueprint. Your mentor is going to be able to give you the specifics to get you to that next level. Because when you're trying to book more appointments, when you're saying this lead source is not working for me, well, let's figure out why. Maybe you're not working the leads properly, or maybe that's just that lead source isn't good for you. Let's see. For the past least resistance, is there a script that we have to follow, or simply tell the customer that you filled out a questionnaire? Yeah. So that is the reason why I like that one, because like I said, it's the past least resistance. They filled out a form that they're interested. The easy part, this is how I do it. Hey, this is Aaron. You filled out some information about going solar. How can I help you out? Hey, you filled out some information about lowering your utility bill. How can I help you out? Depending on the lead sources, depending on how I'm going to open up. This is where this other skill comes in hand, where they go, well, I already talked to 10 other companies, not interested. That's where you're going to have to develop skills and learn how to rebuttal those. Okay, that will be another training, but those are very easy. Once you get past that and you learn how to book those appointments, you're off to the races. What are the top books you recommend to perfect sales? Great question. Actually, I put it on my social media page. I'll send it out, but it's book recommendations. But for sales specifically, let's see. There's a couple of how I brought myself from failure to success in selling. That's a really good one. And then Grant Cardone. There was a Sell or Be Sold. That's a good book. My favorite, if you guys want to know where Grant Cardone, Andy Elliott, all these other guys, these so-called sales gurus get a lot of their information. Zig Ziglar. Any book on Zig Ziglar, just get it and read it. He's the OG. Cardone University, absolutely. Here's the thing. If you read Zig Ziglar books, audios, books, highlight, read this stuff, just rehearse it, drill and rehearse, you're going to realize once you read all Grant Cardone book and all that, you're going to go, wait a minute, this material sounds very familiar, right? So they're all, in my opinion, I think Zig Ziglar, great way to do it. He has principles in there that, I mean, there's over 30 years, they're going to still be relevant, okay? Grant Cardone is a little bit more relevant, but he's a lot more rough on the edges. Okay, but they're both good. I've read both of those things. So my thing is Jim Rohn, absolutely good book. So all those are good recommendations. Read them, just all of them. Pick a couple and study them, and then get more, and then study them. I've read all these books behind me, and I have a whole bunch more audiobooks. I'm just guess what, guys? I am just a copycat. How many of you guys fell asleep when you're going to school? Like when you're going to grade school, you know, like middle school, high school. Raise your hands if you fell asleep in class. How many of you got in trouble for cheating and copying on your neighbor? Some of you guys are embarrassed to say something. Here's the cool thing. I got in trouble for sleeping. I call it daydreaming, right? And I got in trouble for copying. Well, how else was I supposed to pass a class, right? Here, you're learning to be a multi-millionaire by daydreaming and copying the blueprint for other successful people. How awesome is that? So, anyways, guys, right? Dreaming, sleeping, skipping. Oh, man. Yep. All right, guys. Well, hey, if there's not any more questions, I think we're pretty much done. We got 1 minute left. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate every single one of you. And I wish you guys the best. I am here if you guys need anything. You guys cannot be connected to a better company than BYLD. Show up. Just be dedicated. This is your year. This is the next 4 years, guys. I believe it's going to be the year of prosperity. You guys are here. We have another year to try. And guess what? If you fail miserably this year, you have another year to try again. All right. So just have a mindset of you will till you make it happen, and you're going to make it happen. Don't throw in the towel. If you do, it's going. You're throwing. I mean, it's read the book. I think it's like 6 feet from gold or something. So love you guys. I appreciate every single one of you, and let's go crush it. Let's go crush 2025.
Thank you, Arjan. Great job, man.
I appreciate it, Juan. See y'all later.
Let's go.
We'll stick around, guys, for the in-person Downey training, sales training that's going to happen right now. I'm going to stop recording, and once Mr. JC is in the building, we'll start this off.
Awesome. And Juan, can you send
Recording stopped.
recording out too as well, right?
You betcha.
Awesome, man. We get a double dose today. Man, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Amelia, I spotlight your device if you want to put gallery so that JC can see everybody on the screen. That would be great.
Oh, the sugar. A little bit of sugar.
And I, it's gonna select, a home and a future automatically, so we know.
Love the warranty.
Yeah.
Love the warranty. I'm also not a big fan of their
Recording in progress.
Yeah.
It's like, somebody was like, okay, Chris, one for English, two for Spanish, and then you push two, one for English, and like, hey, puppy, how you doing? What do you want? I'm gonna have you. You're like, man, it's like you're the same person. You just like push one, you speak it in English, push two, you're the same guy. It's like Spanish. I'm like, let me try Spanish. Hey, papi, que tú quieres? It's like, it's the same guy. But I did like how I didn't have to use solar insurance, so nobody had their own warranty, their own everything. Monitoring it.
Oh, yeah.
They were the first company that I worked with that put 25 year warranty. The JC? Hey, we booked her on the phone, I would say like 2-3 weeks ago. How are you? Mr. Rangel.
Yeah, it was.
First one that I moved up to 25 year warranty. They had a 25 year bumper to bumper warranty, yeah, when you bought a Sonova logo. Or even on the PPA, you put a 20, when batteries don't really like the best thing. Likewise. People went to some Audi to Sonova.
That's crazy though, because warranty. How do I got it for longer than I can't remember. Right? I have it on the Google Docs.
So most companies, at first, when we first went into a lot of batteries, it was manufactured.
It's share and then
10 years, 12 years, it's been on the batteries.
screen.
Sonova
Yeah.
put a 25 year warranty.
That's great. We're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We plan on buying
You
it.
might-
Yeah.
you might get you too.
Yeah.
We have it here.
So that was really good. Then Solar Insure came in and they put a 20-year warranty on it, so 25.
I have it here. It's on my thing. Oh, it's right there. So then I just go here.
You will.
Yeah, it's like. No.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is.
Oh, okay.
That's a little like-
But like to share with it, are they able to?
If we see it, yeah, they see it.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I think we do, I think we're on. David is.
Did I take it out again?
I believe so. I think we're all gonna say 38 states. We're in 38 states.
How do your handles different? Like, are you ever? Hi. Are you ever? Are you ever?
We're pretty much freedom. Mark, Kate, I don't know if you remember. From SEC, where's the telling?
4 meetings or something.
I think it's when you were just starting.
Okay, might have been so. Good to see you, Kate.
No, we
JC.
pretty much.
What's up, bro?
The freedom.
Me, man.
We have slightly different equipment depending on the.
Yeah.
on the product.
You
So
see
we
it?
have like, WD, PPA. We're exclusive when it comes to loans, it's exclusive with Mosaic. That's the only finance company we have with freedom, that's what they give us really good rate. But we have good lead PPA, infinite PPA, infinite is backed by Hanwha that manufactures the Q cells. So that's, Sonova, Sunrun. We have a lot of different.
All right, let's grab a seat, guys. We're gonna get started. Right, there's a couple of folks here. All right, let's have a seat. Okay, do we have the thing here? Yeah, let's go. Share the screen for, yeah, I'll do it. Let's see here. And then just, you can let people.
Yeah, we just had it. You can see it. No, I.
What up, fam?
Hey.
What up?
Morning. Oh, maybe it's the view that you guys have in Spotlight.
No, open her. Do it Google Doc or on the laptop?
I have it in a Google Doc.
There it is. Perfect. All right, guys, let's go ahead and have a seat. We're gonna get this meeting started. All right, all right. We can have you guys move on that part, please. It'd be great. You're good right there. Yeah, we can have you right there between them two. Perfect. All right, how's everybody's New Year?
Great.
Awesome, awesome. Build it, that's right. I see that.
That's all he's doing.
I did notice a lot of activity throughout the new year, so I really appreciated seeing that kind of effort throughout the new year. And you know, that's one of the things that sets the people that accomplish bigger things apart from the rest of them, right? Is that they have a lot less what?
Starts and stops.
Starts and stops. Now, don't get me wrong, spend time with your family, right? Do your thing. Man, it's time to get, so I gotta take this off. Spend time with your family, do your thing, right? But I think around these holidays, people tend to take more days off than usual, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, but I'm excited to be back and I missed you guys. I haven't seen a lot of you guys in a couple of weeks. So happy to be here. Okay, so let's talk about goal setting. Very important that in 2025, how many people here plan on crushing it in 2025?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. How many people, and I'm gonna ask the same question, but a little bit different. How many of you guys are committed for real to crushing it in 2025? Okay, cool. So most of you guys, that's the case. Okay. So there's an old saying, right? In order to get something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. So the level of commitment, the level of effort that needs to be put in to hit these goals, whether that's sales, some of you guys, your focus might be, hey, I want to sell a lot to make a lot. There's a certain amount of money I want to make, and I want to get there by selling, right? Okay, that's fine. Some of you guys want to do it, you want to really focus on building your brokerage. You want to really focus on your passive income and your residual income. That's my focus. My focus has always been the residual income. So if we go here, let's see here, double.
Did I do it again?
Yeah, do it again. Double click on it.
This one?
Yep. Try it one more time.
When I admit people, it changes it.
Weird.
So you want Sharon and try again.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Perfect. And if they come in here, let's see here. Okay, cool. So the first thing on here on the goal setting is this: be, do, have. How many of you guys are familiar with the be, do, have? Okay, what does it mean?
You become the person.
The first one is become. A lot of people, most people, and you guys heard me say it again, and you'll hear me say these things over and over again because it's good. It has to sink in. The first time that you hear it, it doesn't sink in. The second time, the third time, it'll sink in better. So be, do, have. In order for you to achieve, when you learn this, in order for me to achieve what I want to achieve, I have to first become the person that deserves that amount of money or that success or that rank or whatever the case may be. But here's the deal. As they say, one of the things I say very often, if you could have the things and the income that you wanted being the person you are right now, you would have already had it. Think about it. Imagine that number. Who wants to share an income goal for 2025? A realistic income goal for 2025. Who wants to share?
Residual at 8,000 a month.
Okay, residual.
Yeah.
Just a residual.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So think about this. If it was $8,000 per month residual income that you wanted to achieve, I've noticed a difference, especially since Mentor Factory, a difference, right?
Yeah.
You think you were going to get there being the person you were before Mentor Factory? No. When she went to Mentor Factory and spent 2 days with us, 8 hours getting trained, 2 days and being sold the vision and seeing other people crushing it and doing what they're doing, her and Matthew came out of their guns blazing and they've been building a business. Sales, recruits, off the charts, meetings, 5Ms, more meetings mean more money, right? You became that person, and that's why you're seeing the results and the growth of your team right now. You've got to become the person first, and once you become that person, then you will do the things that person does. I guarantee you there's a difference between the guy or girl that makes $500,000 a year and the one that makes 50 grand a year. Can we agree?
Yeah.
Do you think they wake up a little earlier?
Yeah.
Do you think they're a little bit more confident? and consistent, do you think they have less excuses? For sure. Look, here's the deal. Most people are not even going to invest in their personal development. In their personal and professional development, most people won't even invest in it. And here's what happens, right? They say that where we're going to be in, let's say, December 31st of this year is because of the decisions that we're making right now. They say if you're born poor, that's not your fault. But if you die poor, that is your fault. Right? It boggles my mind, man. I'm an immigrant from Mexico. It boggles my mind. When I was 18 years old, a lot of my friends had their driver's license at 16 years old. I couldn't legally get a driver's license. They had a job at 18, at 16, at 17. I was like, bro, I just want to get a damn job. And I would see so many people that will take the opportunity. This is the richest country in the world. You got it easy here. We've got it easy here. It is freaking easy. You know what it is? Most people, what do you think they are? They're lazy. They're lazy and comfortable. What is it? Spoiled, lazy, comfortable. Seriously, man. It's a poor mindset. It's a comfortable mindset. Life is easy, right? I'm hungry. Uber Eats. There it is. Bam. Thank you. I don't even get up and cook it. Does that make sense? I don't even feel like driving. Let me just have somebody drive me there. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Your 70-year-old self is gonna either thank you or hate you. I'm serious, man. Time will either what? Promote you or expose you. You guys hear me say this all the time. There's a reason why I say it. Because some of you guys, it hasn't become a philosophy that you live your life by. You gotta have a philosophy that you live your life by, and there's no better time than the beginning of the year for you to go out and crush it. For you to go out and make a decision. That's it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Right? So do have. You gotta become the person. That person will do the stuff, and if you do the stuff, you'll have things. It's bottom line. Most people say, I need to see in order to what? Believe. Anybody ever heard people say that before? It's a broke philosophy all the time. No, see, that means that they want to have. If I have it, I see it. I'll do the things, man, and I'll become more disciplined. I'll be there on time. I'll be making less excuses. No, see, that's not how it works, though. When you understand that it's first be, then do, then have. So most people make the necessary changes out of two reasons, out of inspiration or out of desperation. Inspiration or desperation. I want to make sure that it isn't like, oh man, I can't pay my bills. I'm going to go out and I'm tired of not paying my bills. Year after year after year, I got too much month at the end of the money. Instead of too much money at the end of the month. How many guys would like to have too much money at the end of the month? Yeah. But most people live check to check and they have too much money at the end of the money. And they know, how many of us have ever felt like, yeah, I didn't really work hard. How many, raise your hand if you felt like that before? Yeah, I was lazy. Yeah, I slept in, right? Like this morning, I wanted to sleep in that. I was already up by 6:45. I'm like, what the hell am I going to sleep in for another 15 minutes? Right? I'm going to take my son to school. I'm going to hit the gym. Then I'm going to be at the office and we're going to crush the day. Right? It's just those little decisions that seem to make no difference in the act of doing them that make a big difference. So the question is, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Some of you guys, you're not sick and tired, and you haven't been. Great. But some of you guys, maybe that is the case. Maybe you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I notice, and I see this in my business, in myself, I see this in some of you guys, where you're starting to hit momentum because you're doing activities and activities and activities and activities. And here's the way it works. Your activities are going to be activities like this. Nothing, something turned out to be nothing. Then you go, nothing, then something turned out to say, oh, wow, there we go. Most people don't wait till they get there. Does that make sense? Yep. Then you keep going, nothing, potential. Nothing, something, turned out to be something, sale, nothing. Then eventually it's like, nothing, something. Nothing, something, because now some of the nothings from back then became something right now. They join the business. They want to go solar. They want to buy because you stuck it out long enough. And you also have to act as if on social media. People don't need to know. People can think that you're doing better than you're doing in your business. Does that make sense? And they should, because it's about being positive and optimistic about what you are building. I'm positive and optimistic that we're going to have 100,000 members by 2030 paying a monthly subscription. For sure. No question about it. We'll pay $1 billion in commissions by 2030. That equals 100,000 installs that we're gonna do. We're gonna do it now. Check this out. What if we don't? We will, but what if we don't? And we pay only 1,500 million. Is that the worst thing in the world? Somebody is saying, look at this dummy. Instead of $1 billion in commissions, went ahead and did half of that. But guess what? They'll listen. There's never been a statue built for a critic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's funny. I was watching a documentary of this guy that wants to live forever on Netflix. Forgot it. I think it's called Don't Die. Right? Anybody familiar with that guy's story? Okay. So some rich guy, and he spent $2 million. He spends $2 million a year to reverse his aging, right? So he's like, I don't know, 50 or something, and great shape, right? Anyways, and he's on this journey. Yeah, it's crazy. You should see how many critics there are on YouTube talking shit about him. Like, who gives a shit? It's not your life; it's his life. People criticize, oh yeah, like you got the money. These are rich people problems. They want you to get rich, bro, and have those same problems. Seriously, like what the hell are you complaining for? But there's listen, the world is full of pessimistic, negative dream stealers. If you do bad, they'll criticize you for doing bad, but they'll also be your friend. But if you do good, they're going to criticize you for doing good, and they're not going to be your friend. Guess what? I don't want them as my friend anyways. I don't want people like that as my friend. Some of you guys, you need to get to the point where some of your people that you're really close to start to separate themselves from you because they feel like they have nothing in common with you. Dude, we don't think about the same things anymore. We don't have the same philosophies and we don't have the same priorities. Man, you've changed. Roxy, Matthew, Louis, you changed, bro. Damn right, I didn't work this hard to stay the same. Does that make sense? Sure. So here's the deal. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. So here's what the numbers I recommend you guys track. Here's the numbers. Okay. Oh, let's go here. Oh, that's funny. This thing had numbers, but that's fine. Number one is sales. I recommend you have a goal for how many sales you're going to do in 2025. How many personal sales and how many mentor sales? Personal sales, mentor sales. Has anybody thought of how many sales you're going to do? Don't say, here's how many I want to do. You got to declare it as if it already happened. Here's how many sales I'm going to do in 2025. Anybody? Has anybody thought about it?
Not yet, no.
Okay. What's the date today?
6.
See, that's the problem. Who really wants it? And you let 6 days go by and you have no idea how many sales you're going to make. But you say you want it. Man, here's the deal. I hesitate to say this, but it's true. People that achieve the biggest things make it an obsession. Like they're thinking about it. On Sunday, I find some free time and I grab my notepad and I'm writing notes. I'm writing to-do lists. Or I'm working on the train. Right? Let's say my sons are playing and stuff and they don't want to play with me at the moment. I'm doing something. My wife is doing something, I'm doing something. Right? Does that mean that I don't take full days off? Of course I do. Yes. But I'm obsessed with what I got to do. So you have to write down how many sales are you going to do? Who can give me a number of how many sales you're going to do in 2025?
25?
25 sales? So 2 a month. Roughly.
1 a month, 2 split deals. So 2 total, 2 7,000.
Oh, okay, got it. So
Say that 2 mentor deals, so I guess 3 deals
3 deals.
on average. Yeah.
3 deals. Yeah. Okay, good. So 3 deals a month on average is what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a little low.
How many?
That equals 175,000 though.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good goal.
Yeah,
But-
I think it should be higher. 3
sales a month, you're looking at 36 sales a year. So how many because how many sales total for the year?
36.
Okay, good. So 36. You know that you got to do 3 sales a month. It's the beginning of January. You know what's a good thing for you to have a good, like, start off January, right? Knock it out with 3 or 4 sales.
Right.
Does that make sense? Now you got that momentum going into February. But what are some of the things, David, that you need to do to guarantee that you hit those 3 sales a month average?
Well, analyzing over the past months and weeks, I need to focus on money-making activities consistently.
Like what?
And
What are those
and
money making
block out.
activities?
Scheduling appointments, for example, between 1 and 5, no excuses. Any project management is happening before or after, etc.
Okay. So, but how are you gonna get those appointments and those leads?
At least 2 to 3 leads a day.
Huh?
2 to 3 leads a day and for free.
Okay, but how are you gonna find them? Door knocking? I mean, what are you gonna do?
Calls
Okay.
and door knocking.
Okay.
Calls and door knocking for homeowners and reaching out to realtors and anybody that's looking for the opportunity.
Okay, good. How many people here are gonna go door knock by show of hands?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Not as much, but yes.
Okay. So you need to know how many days you're gonna go door knocking. It's gotta be a non-negotiable. See, in 2025, it's gotta be the year of non-negotiable. It's gotta be non-negotiable. If you write down, I'm gonna knock 4 days a week, 4 hours a day, you gotta go 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. For sure. For sure. There's people out there that are looking for what you, here's the deal. There's people out there that are looking for what you offer, and they don't even know that they're looking for what you offer. Because they have a high electric bill. They don't know that solar is a solution, but they're like, damn it, I can't pay my electric bill. I can't pay my other bills. You have a solution that they don't even know. As a sales professional, is about us selling them on why we are the solution. And the more people you talk to, the bottom line, more, look, you really want to make it happen, you got to be having 20 conversations a day, man, about recruiting, about the solar, about overcoming objections, about following up. You got to be having 20 conversations a day. Let's say that because some of them are going to go fast, some of them are going to take a little bit longer. Let's say that the average is 3 minutes, even 5 minutes. Let's say 5-minute conversations. 5 times 20 equals what? 100 minutes? We're talking about 2 hours a day? Less than 2 hours a day? Can you commit to 2 hours a day to like make it happen? Guys, trust me when I tell you, 20 conversations a day will keep poverty away. Do you understand? But see, most of you guys never thought of it that way. Like if I follow up with Mark, let's say he's a solar prospect. Ring, ring. Hey, what's up, Mark? How's it going? Happy New Year.
Hey, what's going on? Happy New Year's.
All right, all right. Doing great, man. I trust that you and the family are doing great.
Yes, all is well. Thank you for asking.
That's awesome. That's awesome, brother. Well, listen, the reason for my call, brother, is because I want to get the new year started, say hello. I know that in the past you were considering solar. I want to know, are you still in the market for solar, Mark, or did you kind of like decide that solar's not right for you?
No, solar's definitely on the list. We know that we need it. The bill still up there.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. Yeah, listen, what I'm doing right now is I'm working on my agenda for January. I love to sit down with you and show you some of the recent promotions that are happening, some very exciting things that I think you should know about. So, you know, if you want to pop out your calendar, I'd love to set up a time to meet with you and your wife so I can show you what are some of the new exciting things for 2025. I mean, that's a conversation. What if you told me to go kick rocks? That's still a conversation. What if you told me, yeah, you know what, kind of, but in the beginning of the year, give me some time. That sounds good. Guess what I'm gonna do? When's a better time? February or March, and I put it on my CRM. I follow up in February or March. I'm guaranteeing future conversations in the future. I'm booking future conversations because I'm a professional, and as a sales professional and a recruiting professional, I know I gotta talk to people. I have no idea. I could go to a neighborhood, look at a neighborhood, and I wish I could tell the creator, can you highlight the doors of the people that are interested? But he can't, right? Imagine you just go knock on those doors that are highlighted. Well, hey, Pete, how's it going? You're interested in what I got. That'd be dope. We can't do that, right? So guess what? I look at a neighborhood, I'm like, it's my job to find out which are the doors that are highlighted. They're invisible. They're highlighted. The creator knows. I don't know. It's my job to go find them. So I'm gonna go. And here's the deal. If I were to go on the doors right now, man, if I were to go on the doors right now, you guys would be surprised. I would crush it. I'm telling you, man. I took many years off the doors, and I go back doors and smoke everybody because watch. I know, and look, this is what I know in my brain, whether it's true or not. It's what I believe. You give me a lie detector test, I will pass it. I know that in any group I'm at, I don't give a shit who it is. I'm the best one in that damn room. All of you guys are shooting for second place, and you'll be grateful for second place because I'm gonna smoke you. And there's a bit of arrogance. And Kobe Bryant thought the same way, so did Michael Jordan. You think Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant really thought that other people were their equals? Hell no. Hell no. Some of you guys still think that you're the person you used to be. You don't think of yourself at this level. That's why you don't perform at this level, because you will show up the way you view yourself. On the doors with prospects, you show up how you view yourself. You guys are playing small, some of you. You got to start playing big. You got to make a decision. I'm going to play bigger. 2025 is my year. Most of you guys didn't say. How many of you guys remember saying that 2024 is my year? Who actually remember saying that? By show of hands. Anybody? 1, 2. Okay, good. Now, let me ask you this. Did you keep that same energy all year long? You did? Good. Who kept that same energy all year long? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys kept that same. No. In 2024, y'all kept the same energy. This is my year. Raise your hand.
Definitely made, at least for myself,
Okay.
I know I seen.
Perfect.
What that meant for me was.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Because you had no experience in solar, you had no experience in network marketing. Okay. So some of you guys need to identify, what does keep that same energy mean? Having that energy to win in 2025, what does that mean? You got to identify what that means. For example, I'm going to be on every training, no matter what. I'm going to be at every sales meeting, no matter what. I'm going to hit the doors 4 days a week or 3 days a week from this time to this time, non-negotiable. I'm going to hit the gym 5 days a week, whatever those numbers are. And you got to think of yourself like a robot that's programmed to do the thing. A robot that's, listen, man, if you put your alarm for 5 a.m. every day, your phone's a robot. You guys know that, right? That's a little robot you got. What happens if you put 5 a.m. on your phone and all you got to do is keep it charged? And Monday through Sunday, you put the alarm at 5 o'clock. Is that alarm going to go off? Is that robot going to decide, you know what? Not today. I'm not going to activate my speaker today. No. See, that's the difference between winners and losers. Winners think of themselves like, I'm a robot. This is what I do. Somebody wants to find, if somebody hires a hitman to kill me, they can find me at the gym at this time. They can find me on the field somewhere in this city or this city and this city, Monday through Thursday, from this time to this time. They can find me somewhere in Santa Fe Springs or Pico Rivera or Downey or whatever the case may be. Because I'm a robot, because we are not the same. Because I've decided that I'm going to win, and none of you guys can beat me. You guys better be happy. You guys better fall in love with that second place trophy, because that's the best you're going to get. That's the attitude to win. That's the energy to win in 2025. Shit, because let me tell you something. There's people that haven't even signed that application that are going to come in here and smoke some of you. Some of you guys have a goal of 100,000. There's a new guy that's going to come in March, or girl come in April and make 200 grand before you made 100. Because they decided daily method of operation, DMO. I'm going to do this. How many of you guys are negotiating with success? Meaning, I say I'm going to go hit the field, and I don't hit the field. Raise your hand if you've done that. I've done it, by the way. Okay? Or I'm going to generate 8 points, and you find a reason not to generate 8 points. Anybody? That's the issue. You've got to decide. So, number one, have a goal for sales. Number two, how many per seat sponsor people on average monthly? How many people will you sponsor for the year? And how many people here are mentors? Raise your hand if you're a mentor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mentors. So check this out. If you're a mentor with the company, man, I just sponsored my friend Robert. Robert is the first person I recruited that recruited me into network marketing in 2001, 24 years ago. Man, I'm getting old. I feel good, though. I feel 30. So that's cool. You know what I mean? So here's what happens. This guy recruited me then. I recruited him now, right? I already presented one of them to him, to his customer. Didn't pass credit. She's getting her daughter to co-sign. We'll close that deal. Yesterday, I had an appointment at 5 o'clock. And I called them a couple of hours ahead and said, hey, listen, can we move it to 7? And if not, I could assign somebody to help with closing this deal, bro, because my son goes to school tomorrow. He's been on a little mini vacation. We want to take him out somewhere. So we went out yesterday, right? Long story short, they couldn't move it, so I assigned my brother to do it, right? So how did that meeting go yesterday?
It went well. He really liked everything about what we presented. He just wants to look at the tax credit because that one wasn't ready yet.
Mhm.
So today we're supposed to circle back at 6 p.m. But it looks very promising.
Looks very promising, right? So he's decided whether the lease or the purchase.
Yeah, they got 2 Tesla cars, maybe a third one.
Wow.
So he's definitely interested in going somewhere.
So think about this. As a mentor, you recruit somebody, they got some leads, you close those leads for him. That guy, you know how many leads he's got, how many additional leads in the back office he's already got besides those 2? He's got 3 more. 3 more. Wants them presented this week, right? There's a lot of money when you become a mentor. You better get good at recruiting. And even before you're a mentor, here's why you recruit before you're a mentor. Because what happens is you recruit and you build a team. By the time you get to mentor, you got this big old team. You recruit a couple people that recruit a couple people. Now, all of a sudden, you're a mentor. You got all these people sending you business. Does that make sense? Now you're the mentor for these deals. That's for those of you guys that want to build a team. Not everybody wants to build a team. We don't force it on people. But if you have a goal of building a team, I need you to write down how many people you're going to sponsor for the year and how many on average monthly are you going to sponsor. How many people have a goal of firstly recruiting a lot of people in 2025? Okay, here's what I would encourage you to do. We make it easy for you now. Invest into your business. Who was on the call that we did on Saturday, the corporate call?
Yes.
What did I mention there that relates to recruiting? What kind of leads?
Or we look at leads.
Realtor leads. You guys know you can buy 15 realtor leads for $80, right? These are realtors that got called that said, yes, I'm interested in the solar brokerage. Yes, email me the information, and yes, have somebody call me. Or you could get double 30 of them for what is it? It's like $4.33 each. Yeah, something like that. Whatever 433 is times 30. So like, yeah, about 150. So now you could call these leads and say, hey, Mark, this is JC with Encore Solar. Giving you a call because you spoke to my, by the way, you have the recordings of the caller. You could hear their conversation when you buy the leads. Every call you got it. You know that we lose money on those? We lose money on those leads at that price. Where we'll make it back is when you recruit them and they generate sales. But we're okay with that. When I was with the last solar company, guys, I guarantee, do you guys think that the company had a call center that allowed us to buy these leads? No. No.
And if they did, they'll keep on.
Right. So what we did is we said, well, what if we create this now? But I tell you what, I already recruited the first realtor through there and I made the first sale through there. The money is there. The resources, now you don't have to buy the leads. You could go ahead and pick up the phone and start calling these realtors to find out who's interested. Or you could just call ones that already said, I'm interested. Hey, I'm interested. Does that make sense? Okay. So have a goal of how many people you're going to recruit. The next one is team size. What team size will you have by the end of the year? Okay. And what rank? Who already knows, has a goal for the rank that you're going to have by the end of the year? Anybody have a goal yet?
We talked about it before you headed out.
What is it?
8,000.
Builder 8,000. As a builder 8,000, he'd be making $8,000 a month residual, not including his overrides from the sales his team does. And you think he'll get some mentor leads?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. For sure. So have a goal for what rank you're gonna hit. And then money earned by 2025. That's the next one. How many people are going to go to convention with you? By the way, convention is going to be sometime June or July in Las Vegas. June or July in Las Vegas. That gives you more time. You guys know we're going international. I won't get into the details of that. We're going international, right? So how many people do you want to show up to the Las Vegas convention with? Big decisions are made at the conventions, right?
Minimum 10.
Okay, good. The next one is this. This is probably the most important one, guys. Describe. This is, you got to get a paper and a pen. And you got to write down these goals. And you got to describe. What does the person that you have to become look like What does that person look like? The version of you that you got to become to achieve these goals, what does that person look like? And I'm not necessarily talking about how you physically look. What I mean is, what are your attributes? Remember, if you could have the things that you want at being the person you are right now, you would already have. So, what is their discipline level at? How many days a week are they working? How many hours a day? How many days a week? So total, how many hours a week are they working? Right? How is their self-confidence? How is their word? Are they a man or a woman of their word? Like, there's some of you guys that if you tell me, I'll be there at the sales meeting, I know, no problem. He or she will be there. I don't question. And then there's some of you that's not the case. I'm serious, right? Like, are you that person? Oh, Roxy said it, consider it done. Or Joe Blow said it, good luck with that. Don't hold your breath. No, seriously. So write down, it could be a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, it could be a full page. I don't care. You have to reflect on who you've got to become to achieve these goals. Because it ain't the same person that's going to achieve those things. The same person for 2024. If you didn't make the income that you wanted to make in 2024, then it's not that person that's going to get the goals in 2025. You got to elevate. You got to go to that next level. And here's another thing that I say very often, and it's worth repeating. Stop buying the BS. Stop buying the bullshit. That change takes time. How many of you guys heard me say that before? Change doesn't take time. That is a myth. Change takes a decision. Most of the world don't change because they bought into the bullshit that change takes time. So they think it's not my time, or enough time hasn't passed. After all, change does take time. When I learned that, I said, oh shit, this makes sense. I had one of my mentors many years ago, 2008 approximately. He says, change doesn't take time. Change takes a decision. You could decide right now that you stop, for example, something simple, eating sugar. Sugar is extremely addicting, by the way. Right?
That was my fast from Mr. Sam being third. That's my addiction.
Yes. Man, let me tell you something. Without veering too much off, it's addicting and it's evil. I'll just put it that way. Okay? Anyways, here's my point. And I eat sugar, right? So I'm not over here trying to preach and stuff. I know that it's bad, right? And I still eat it, right? Don't get me wrong. I don't eat a whole lot. Like my coffee has monk fruit. You know, I don't put sugar in it. I put monk fruit and almond milk or oat milk, or when I make it cold, I use raw milk. By the way, he put me onto raw milk, like straight up raw milk, right? So it's got none of the bad stuff in it. Anyways, I don't know how the hell we got into cow milk, but you know, I don't know which one of you guys switched the subject. But let me focus. Okay, so going back, you got to describe who you got to become. Most people have not had this dialogue with themselves of who am I and who do I got to become? Like seriously, who do I got to become to achieve these things? Go ahead.
What saying that, you know, one of the things that comes up for me is that you want to attract greatness, right? People, you know, build a team and stuff. And so who are you, right? So whoever you are is who you're gonna attract. So if you're being complacent, you're only gonna attract that type of people.
Right.
If you want to attract people like JC, we gotta be like JC, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I've noticed for me.
Look, I've got friends, to your point, realtors, entrepreneurs, that before they wouldn't hang out with me because we didn't think the same. Now my crowd is different. The phone calls I can make and the people I have access to are different, and they think different. Before, if I invited an event, no, I'm good. They wouldn't even answer my call. Or if they did, they say no. Now I invite them to an event. They're like, yeah, CEOs of companies, multimillionaires, like, Jay, oh, you're doing it? Yes. You know why? Because I've showed them that consistently I am serious about business. They look at me as a peer. I don't want average people with no goals in life and no ambition and no direction to look at me as your peer. No way. Hey, God bless them. Whatever makes you happy, that's cool. For me, though, I want to get my circle better, right? So don't buy into the whole thing that change takes time, because that's a myth. Just like, what's another myth that I mention all the time about common sayings? Does anybody remember? Good things come to those who? That's a myth, man. Go ahead and wait around in your couch for these sales to come in. Go ahead watching Netflix and eating peanut brittle in your couch, ordering Uber Eats and shit. Watch the sales come in. Good things come to those who wait. Go ahead and wait for the creator to just give you something. No, man, an old Chinese proverb said, he who rolls up his sleeves shall never lose his shirt. The person who rolls up their sleeves and goes and puts in the work shall never lose his shirt. The quote was cut in half. I hate it. There's a certain side that cuts shit in half. They misquote people all the time. This quote says, good things come to those who wait, but only what's left over from those who hustle. The crumbs. Let me ask you guys, do dogs like bones? Do dogs like bones?
Yeah.
You know what it is? They settle for bones. You put a T-bone steak and a bone. What do you think the dog's going to get? The steak. They settle for bones. You know what most people settle for? Bones. You know why? Because the people around you settle for what? Bones. They're the same. So then, hey, Johnny says change takes time. 2030, I think is my time. I think by 2030, I'll be ready to make these changes. And then there's other people that hang out, champions like this, are like, no, that's bullshit, by the way. You know that, right? Knowledge is power, bro. No, it's not. Applied knowledge is power. That's a myth as well. You have the knowledge. I got the knowledge to have a six-pack, but I don't got no doggone six-pack. It's not because I have a lack of knowledge. I got the knowledge. Cut the carbs and the sugar, right? Cardio and freaking do 1,000 abs a day. Right? I guarantee you, I'll get an 8-pack. I know how to get an 8-pack. But that doesn't mean that has any power. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's why being around people thrive in communities. Throughout history, people thrive in communities, not solo. So you come to the community, but there's a time that you got to be solo because champions are not made in the ring. They're just recognized there. You got to be under the street lights, knocking on the door, going to a meeting at a Starbucks, meeting inside a customer, knocking on his door. They let you in, you present in the street lights. And then when we have the convention, you're getting recognized under the spotlight. You see how that works? You got to first be under the streetlights to get recognized, putting the work under the streetlights to get recognized under the spotlight. And that's just how it works. But the cool thing about our business model is this. You don't got to do that forever. You go do that simultaneously. You sell solar, you sell everything that we sell, and you sell the vision to people. And some of the people are going to catch the vision and some are not, and that's okay. Then some of them come over, you start to become a better leader, you plug them into the system, you learn to lead people, and eventually, year 1, year 2, year 3, some of you guys is year 5 that you crack the code. Oh, snap, I hit manager. I hit builder 500, builder 1,000. And now you start to go up, and eventually you don't got to be out on the streets doing that many meetings or that much prospecting. Eventually, you're just closing mentor deals, making overrides. Then eventually, guess what you're doing? You're not even hardly doing none of that. You're now helping your people, doing meetings for them, training them. And you got other people that are doing, because guess what? The comp plan is the equal comp plan for everybody. So we're going to wrap this up. So here's the things that you want to focus on. I'm going to just breeze through this. SMART goals. They got to be specific. Clearly define what you want. Don't say, I want to make a lot of money. I want to build a big team. That's vague. Or even like, I want a new Mercedes. No. What kind of Mercedes is it? By when are you going to get that Mercedes? What color is it? How much does it cost? Is it black with red interior? Like, be specific. How much? How fast? I want to grow a big team. How big of a team and how many people are you going to recruit and what rank are you going to be in by when? And here, let me give you another bonus one. When you say these goals, you want to write them down, read them out loud consistently, at least every week. Try to do it every day, but at least every week. And here's what you want to do when you're saying them. Start it off with, I'm so happy and grateful now that, whatever the goals. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then feel the feelings work. Kind of like when you were a kid, you had an imagination. You guys ever see kids and stuff? Like my son back, he's 10 now, but when he was younger, he used to go like that, like Spider-Man and stuff. Then I'm like, yeah, but I just cut it off. He says, no, the spray that I sent or the web that I sent kills all of the weapons that you have. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's good. This guy's good. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got an answer for everything. Oh, that doesn't count. Why not? Because it just doesn't count, right? So my point is, when you start to think of these things, right? Think of them and feel the emotions, the positive emotions as if they already happened. Get excited about them. One of the things that you guys hear me say all the time is that winners replay their past failures and success and setbacks. Winners pre-play their future success and wins. I learned that from a guy named David Eminiti. He's a good friend of mine. Okay. Winners pre-play their future success and wins, and they get excited about them ahead of time. Losers replay their past failures and setbacks, and then they dwell on them. It's like they have a pity party, right? So don't do that. So specific. The next one is measurable. Okay. Quantity of your goal and track the progress. The next one is achievable. So you want to make it to where it pushes you, but also not to the point where it's like unrealistic. They'll say, I'm going to make $1 million this year, and you didn't make 50,000 last year. You know what I'm saying? Like if you made 100 grand, it's still a big jump, but that's doable, right? It's 10x. That's tough. So make it to where it makes you stretch, but also at the same time it's achievable with hard work. The next one is relevant, aligned with your goals and your values, right? Like, why are you looking to do this? What is it that you're going to get from it? And then time bound, set specific deadlines and time frames. Okay. The next couple bullet points is share your goals with other people. We're going to talk about that shortly. And regularly review your progress. See where you're at. So to wrap this up, I want to go around the room here. And I want to know what are some of the action plans. First of all, I want you guys to tell me a couple things. Number one, what you currently have right now going on that you're working on, that you're excited about in your business. And number two, share some of your goals for 2025. So who wants to go first? Beto.
Some of the things that I got is I've been meeting with a lot more partners. I'm actually sitting with someone tomorrow, my wife and I. One of the things that I want to focus more on 2025 is solidifying partnerships, where it's not just talking about the business, but closing the partnership and getting a seamless process where we're onboarding people and generating momentum for everybody, not just for me and
right.
So that's one of the things that I want to focus on 2025.
Good. I like it. Good. And what are some of your goals? Share some of your goals for 2025.
I want to be builder 8,000, minimum director,
okay,
direct sales side.
Good.
And I really, really want to have partners all over the world.
Yeah.
I don't want to focus just in the US anymore.
Okay, good.
International.
Good, good. I'm gonna be doing some special things with some of you guys where we're gonna sit down and just like talk about where your business is at, so we can find what are some of the things that you're getting stuck in. You know what I mean? So, and matter of fact, we're gonna do that on the 18th. Some of you guys, Wences and I are gonna invite some of you guys on the 18th. You guys know what's happening on the 18th?
Yeah.
So we got the Crush It event. We'll talk about that shortly. But after the Crush It event, we're going to be meeting with some of you guys to really hone down on how to take your business to the next level, right? We're even flying some of the leaders in that weekend to do that. So you'll see some of the leaders from other states in here. Go ahead, Roxy.
What we have going on is that we're Matthew and I, we're pretty much launching and onboarding almost on a weekly basis. And closing not just his personal deals, but in the team. One of our builders hit Builder 500.
Nice.
And we have network events scheduled already, and a game planning for the year with our top producers and builders within that.
Good. I love it. Good job.
Yeah, I was gonna ask too if this sheet, because actually right after this we have scheduled to go do our goal planning for the whole year at the office.
Okay, good.
So yeah.
Yeah, we can
if
send it.
we get it. Yeah, if we get a copy of that.
Or I can send it. Oh, you guys can email it.
She can email it to you guys or print it, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, yeah.
So, but at least, she's building 1,000. I'm building 500. So where we're at is my right side. Yeah, if you're looking at the screen, right? Yeah, so right side is already eligible for Builder 1000. So now I'm working on my left side to get that to Builder to get Builder 1000, and then working on her getting her to Builder 2000. And the goal is at least by like July, August to be at Builder 8000, right?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you guys are doing. The launch events, identify your key people. When you're building a business, launch events, launch them, once you sign them up, launch them properly, get the utility bills, get the fast start, set up another launch event. As your team continues to grow, you find out who are my most serious people, and you hone in on those people with the 80-20 rule. 80% of my time goes to the 20 percenters. 20 percenters are in any sales organization, 20% of the people are doing 80% of the production. And the other 80% of the people are doing 20% of production. So 80% of my time goes to the 20 percenters that are doing 80% of the production. Does that make sense? And I give the other people time too. I give them 20% of my time. Here's the deal. The 80 percenters don't even notice that you're giving them 20% because they're not that serious. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's where you got to find the next Matthew and the next Roxy. I remember when I barely met you guys were brand new. You guys didn't know nothing about solar, nothing about network marketing, nothing about anything like this, right? You guys have never done a business like this. Now you guys are some of the biggest leaders in the company that got the best activity going on, and because you guys are very coachable and very consistent. So good job.
I should have put that energy since the beginning, but I was putting it in my women in finance community, okay?
Right.
That's when I said consistent, because I was putting this energy, but in my own community. Now I'm just putting it here.
I get it. Yeah. That's awesome.
That's kind of piggyback off what you were saying about what you guys are going to do after the event, right? So I actually had a client of mine. He asked me, he's all right, so what's in the gap of your business where you're at now to where you want to be? And so he got me thinking. I was cutting his hair. I was doing a haircut. We actually had so I had him at 3, and then we had a business launch event at 3:30. So I was trying to just get him in and out, but he asked me this question, and I was like, all right, well, what's in the gap? And that gap for me is time.
Yeah.
Is the time, because, I have my kids. I run the barbershop as well. That's my time behind the chair. And that's my main support of income right now.
Right, of course.
So in between cutting hair and doing, the calls and stuff like that, that's really where at least my time is in the gap of getting to that next level. So being able to identify that right after this, when we do our game plan for the year,
good,
is identifying where I could put the best time, because she mentioned something yesterday about money making activities, and that you could be busy, but what did you say when we're leaving church yesterday? You said being busy. Being busy isn't good, or
Being busy but not productive.
Right. Yeah.
You could be busy, but are you being productive?
Yeah, you could be busy, but are you being productive, or are you actually, is it a money making activity as well?
Yep.
So identifying those gaps.
It's in the 8-point system. I'm going to create another thing side by side, the 8-point system that talks about A, B, and C activities. So you want to spend your time in A and B activities, like the 80-20 rule. 80% of your time A activities, 20% of the time in B and C activities. Really like 80-15-5. If I had to break it down right now without thinking about it, just off the top of my head. So I think that would help. So you'll notice that when you teach, you learn, right? There's learn knowledge, activity knowledge, model knowledge, and teaching knowledge. So as I'm teaching and I'm getting feedback, I'm learning, like, this could help in going side by side with the 8-point system. Like, yes, it's the 8-point system, but it's very simple. There's A activity, B activity, C activity. And this is what each activity is. A activity is these things. B activity is these, and C activity is these. Then people realize, man, I'm spending too much time on C activities and B activities. That's why I'm not moving the needle. The bottom line is this: building a team and building prospects to follow up on. In the beginning, when you're new, you don't have prospects to follow up on, and you don't have a team. So you got to prospect. That's where the majority of your energy goes into prospecting. Door knocking, calling your warm market, right? Doing networking events. You got to find the people. Now you create prospects for recruiting and prospects for selling. Then you start to dedicate more time on the follow-up, and you take a little bit of time from the prospecting and you put some of that time towards the follow-up, but because you put so much time and effort into the prospecting, right? So you guys are doing the right thing, right? I see you guys hosting events all the time, right? We're gonna have the Crush It event. Some of us on the 18th, that weekend, we're gonna reach out because that weekend, I don't know if part-time will be Saturday, but probably we'll do something on Friday at the office. We're gonna lock ourselves in the office for 3 to 4 hours. And we're gonna go through everybody's business and see where you're at. And it's gonna be like, how are we gonna make millions of dollars together? And we gotta see where, because you're gonna see some bottlenecks in your business and some things that you're stuck on. So you're gonna have myself, you're gonna have Wences, and a couple of key leaders there. I think Julio and Ed are coming from the Dominican Republic. Sam might come. I'm not sure because that's his wife's birthday that weekend. So the interest will more than likely be here. So we're going to look at people's business to see where we're going to go. And we got to do this in January. So stay tuned for that. Some of you guys will get invited to that. Okay. One more person that wants to share their goals. Go ahead.
Our goals and what we've been up to.
Yes, correct.
We've been up to, I've been working a lot on, still working the war market. Unfortunately, had a few, with the water too, diversifying into different things, had a few downs with the water, but we're getting some other stuff, so on and so forth. But I think some of the trainings and additional stuff we've been doing on Saturdays, it's been working. I've had people reach out to me that I didn't really know, said, hey, I have a list of people, can you help me call them? And if we get a lead, and I'm working with you from within our network. So that's been working out. We also, we've got some of my 4 people right here. We plugged in last week of December, and we planned out our networking events for the whole month of January.
Okay, good.
So we're not looking anymore. Where are we going? What do we do? No, we already got them locked in our calendar. We already know where we're gonna go network, because that's something else we gotta do as well. Right?
Good.
Find those people, so we got it locked in. And then launch, and we got a few launches planned as well. Actually, as a matter of fact, we're gonna talk to you about that after, Earl, but we got one locked in for the 9th with one of my team members. So doing more launches. I feel comfortable doing some of the, so I was gonna ask you some advice as well.
For sure.
But I feel comfortable going through the opportunity presentation. I feel very, very comfortable. I did it in front of some big boys, and they were able to, they saw the vision. So.
Listen, that's how it is. And one of the keys to building a big business is duplicating presenters. You got to duplicate presenters. See, like you guys are duplicated, you're duplicated. Lewis is duplicated, Dave is duplicated, right? Robert is duplicated. So is David. So in the beginning, it's just you. And one of the mistakes I made in the beginning is I made it me so long because I was like, well, these guys, yeah, they might be able to do it, but they're not gonna do it as good. So their percentage sign-up ratio is gonna be lower. Yeah, but you're not letting them grow. A leader duplicates leaders, not followers. So then eventually you got people. I love to see you guys see in the group how many leaders in the company are doing their own launch events, like a bunch of different teams. You know what that is? It's a testament to the leadership that they're a part of. Right? Like Sam has a bunch of teams doing it, so does Ed and all of them, right? And it's just, you got to get yourself out there. You got to get creative. For example, listen, man, those of you guys that want to build a big team in 2020, those doggone real estate leads better be gone. And you got to have a goal of 100 leads in your CRM, that the CRM is now free, guys. Okay? Come on. The CRM, you guys now get a free CRM. You got to have at least 100 of these realtor leads that you are working, and you'll start to recruit them. And then when you start to recruit them, you're going to override them. And some of you that are mentors, you're going to mentor them. Dude, I'm telling you. Then here's what I'm going to do. In February, we're going to do a lunch and learn again in the 2nd floor, where you now got all these leads. So they've been on the ropes here and there. Guess what? You call them and you invite them to a free lunch and learn and free headshots. So we're going to do a lunch and learn and headshots for free, just kind of learn about the business. So that's on our dime. Your guests are going to eat free. You just buy your lunch. Is that fair? You pay $12 for your lunch, and you can bring 5 guests. We cover their lunch and do the headshots for them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So these are some of the things that you got to take advantage of, but you got to make a decision to put in the time and also put in the money. You want more time and money, you got to invest more time and money, right? The last thing is, let's pull up this. Where's the event flyer?
Oh,
Is it on here?
No.
Okay. If you want to send it to her on WhatsApp. So we're going to close out with this, guys. We have the Crush It event. You guys know that this meeting is going on the blog, right? You know, part of the meeting. Okay, so we also have the Crush It event happening, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. So let me tell you guys what that is. It's a generic event. It's not a super Saturday. It's a generic event. We will have a segment. It's from 10 to 2. By the way, we got extended to 2, not to 1. Okay, so let's call the hotel. Even if we start at 9, I don't care. If we go 9 to 1 or 10 to 2, doesn't matter. Either of them work, but we needed 4 hours. Here's what it's going to be. It's going to be, I'm going to have different people from different, I'm going to have a CEO of a real estate company in the panel. I'm going to ask another CEO of an insurance company, 7-figure earner, to be on the panel. We're going to interview these people. I'm going to be training for about 40 minutes. I'm going to have another trainer for about 40 minutes. 2 different trainings. The other trainer, you guys, most of you guys don't know who he is. So we're going to have 2 trainers. Then we're going to have the panel. I'm probably going to have the owner of, you guys know, anybody ever heard of Madres Brunch? Yeah. Okay. So that's my buddy. So they're one of the fastest, most popular restaurants in Southern California. So I'm going to talk to him today and I'm going to ask him to be on the panel. And if he's not out of town, he'll be there. He's my buddy. So he's going to be on there. If you guys saw the 4 CEOs podcast, it's the people from there. So we're going to get them live, right? Jose, the realtor, already said yes. I got to talk to the other 2 today. But if not, I'll get other people on the panel. So we're going to interview them on how they grew their business and what they're doing in 2025 to dominate in 2025, right? So then here's what it's going to be. Anybody ever seen speed dating? We're going to do speed networking. So then we're going to take a break and put the lines, right? Like chairs in front of chairs facing each other. And you're going to get in front of people. You're going to network with these people for about 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes, and then the next, then the next, then the next, then the next. Does that make sense? So, and we're going to have a Encore solar booth, Rain H2O booth, and a home security booth there. We'll probably throw a BYLD booth there. Says, yeah, we offer all these things, right? I don't know, but the 3 for sure we're going to have, and I'm going to do a 10 to 15 minute segment on what is BYLD. It's not going to be a full presentation, but it's going to be, because we're the main sponsor. We're sponsoring the event. Does that make sense? That's what that event is. So here's what I recommend that you guys do. Share the flyer on your social media along with the link. Let's put the flyer on the WhatsApp group, please, and the Humanitics link. Share it on your social media. Send it to your contacts. Who do you know that's in sales? Who do you know that likes personal development? We're gonna start introducing this week the lineup of speakers. So we're gonna have nice flyers with the speakers on them and their bio and whatnot. Those events, by the way, I'll do another one in the middle of the year. So we did the Crush It 2025 is this one to start off the year, right? And then we'll do the one in the middle of the year, right? And we might do one at the end of the year. So guess what, though? Some of you guys eventually are going to be doing your own events like that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of networking to be done. So if you guys want to go to this event, you guys got to make sure you're registered, but only register if you're going to go. Okay? Don't register if you're not going to be there. Then there's no need. So all right, we're good. Everybody, bring it in. We're going to close it out. We're gonna go, let's win on 3. On 3, we're gonna go, let's win on 3. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Everybody, put the hands in. We're gonna go, let's win on 3. 1, 2, 3, let's win! All right, clap it up. It's like, Mr. Rangel probably gonna be able to answer a little better than
Oh, okay. Oh, so she got it? Yeah, okay, yeah. I was like, perfect.